What's up? Welcome to Steven Johnson Does Stunks. 10k net month, 6k a week. What I want to kind of do for you is break it down. Why was it tricky in the first 2 weeks of the month with the stunks? And like, how did the Wall Street bets in the final week of the month make shit fucking
Oh, behave. Yeah. Yeah, baby. Yeah.
So we ran pretty well, 10k just net profit. It's actually there's a few more borrows to come off. It's about 9 grand after fees like profit. We'll recap the 7th and the 12th, and then we'll recap this beautiful flower 6k. I would love to say that it felt amazing, and it did. Like each day felt like these 3-4 days felt pretty good, but now that I'm recapping, I feel like I'm pretty much just a superhero these days. Not that I am a superhero. I feel like it feels like a superhero. Like it looks like I'm doing something really good, like really amazing. But it's just the job. It's just the job at the end of the day, and it's just work, right? So once you've made 10k, like this is my fourth time in a month, like it just gets normal, and I wish I could like sit and cry happy tears, but it's just not reality anymore. You've got to hit 20, hit 30. And in reality, when I had the breakthrough 10 and 15k months, I did cry happy tears, and the tears had happiness in them. But it's just you get used to it. I hate to sound ungrateful, but you do. Wow. So the first stock was BNGO. We can actually see the data from the trade. BNGO, like it's just starting to support. It's on its third day, and I'm just shorting support. I'm hammering support on the bottom. We can see all these hammering it, covering, hammering it, covering, hammering it, covering. Shorting support, dead rookie basic error, and I'm basically just shorting support kind of on the day of the trend break, or the day after. What day was I showing here? The 7th of Jan. So we've got like the 7th here, which is even worse because we've kind of got this run that looks kind of small in comparison, which is quite scary. I mean, if we pull it back, and we've got this initial run, first red day, but then we get this like kind of double bottom. It starts to hold here across the 5th and the 6th, and then it perks on the 7th. It's like perking up there. We can see it's made its parabolic move, and then it's slowly like lower highs coming down, but we just perk off this trend. It tries to bounce, and after coming down from the 7s to the 5s, God only knows why I'm showing support with such size. And like I feel like it's obviously weak. The price action's weak, and it does fall through the next day before ultimately bouncing. And now when we look at BNGO now, it's doing the same thing, right? We've got this trend support, and we've got this new line of support again. So we're probably gearing up for the same pattern, but I mean, when something's down a lot of its size, you just cannot be shorting support here. And fortunately, I mean, look, it's a really good long. It's sad because you've got the support holding, you've got the higher low, and then we've got this beautiful wedge break. And I think I did take a little bit long, but not enough, or at least I got out short. We had this beautiful hold all day, lower highs, nice wedge break, volume comes in, hit that buy in the 490s, and it rips up. It was a great long, and I just took it short. It was stupid. And it was like a 2 grand loss around that number. And with ZOM, it was kind of the same. It's like this multi-day parabolic, BNGO, like this multi-day parabolic, trying to find the top, ended up ended up on the front side a little bit early. Like and short and front side is equivalent to like is equivalent of dip buying on the backside. Like you just don't dip buy on the backside, and you shouldn't be short on the front side. They're both as bad as each other. But with ZOM, I was like just trying to find the top on this day. I was like, it's overextended. It's a shit company. It's up because of a Carol Baskin message. Like I'm just not interested. And with ZOM, just way too early. Lost like 2 grand again. Way too early on the way up. adding, not really, like you can see I'm like cutting, there's some cuts here, there's some cuts here, there's some cuts pre-market, like I'm cutting it and then trying higher, then cutting it and trying higher. So at least that, and in my credit, 140 was the top and I was hammering the top. It's just this drop here, I chased it a bit much and I kind of got punished. So I mean, with these kind of gap adds with volume, you've got to let them parabolic at the open, and I just didn't do that. And ultimately, while I did hit the perfect entry, then I was so far under that I didn't, like I couldn't just leave it on, right? Like that is the top of the move, and if I'd have been shorting into the parabolic, like you should short the 20% push on parabolics, I would have caught the top, and then I could have like held half for this day and into the next day where we had this huge panic. I actually made all my money back and more on the panic. I was just a little bit early, but again, like what's kind of screwed me is I was kind of break even, but when it panicked, I thought this was the end. And the other thing is market makers generally will get out into the morning when liquidity's stronger and there's more liquidity to get out in. Like market makers aren't going to drop the stock in the afternoon. So it was disappointing that basically like I'd struggled all morning, got flat here and then added, and ended up like $2,000 down because I was too aggressive. And the move is let them parabolic at the open. And in the second lesson is the big panic will be the next day. I cut this and then it gapped down and washed out. But at least the next day, I was really kind of particularly prepared, shorting into the push, waiting for the panic. And this doesn't look much, but it's like I was short like 118 all the way down to like the 83s.
No. Danger's my middle name.
So the week, this came out of nowhere. Like this 6K week came out of nowhere, and it started just with ABML and Archon. It was almost a bit of luck. I wasn't making much money. I wasn't really trading well. GE, I got stopped out and then it dropped as well. It should have been a 3K day, 2.5, 2.6. But I mean, it just everything worked out. I mean, Archon. So what I started doing as well is I started trading really small size front side, like 50 shares, 100 shares, and then hammering it on the back. With this one, I definitely thought the front side wasn't where it was and got a bit stubborn. But like sometimes you don't trade perfectly, but you're in the right place at the right time. And I'd also say, I mean, this is a short straight from the guide. And with Archon, when it's got this history of gapping and failing, and then it trades even less volume, it's straight from the gate, it's fully explained, and then the next day it gaps on less volume. The only concern is it's kind of a 52-week high, but it's just, if it can't run on this volume, how's it going to run on this volume? That's how I think. And if it gaps up and does this, and there's loads of other stocks in play, like no one's going to buy this. So it was honestly just a case of taking some small size pre. I thought the move was over here. I got quite surprised when it broke. But the rule that made it work and kept me safe is, well, not kept me safe, but the rule that made it work is I'm aggressive on bearish setups and I'm bearish on bullish setups. If it's a 52-week high with a history of running, I'm like playing it if it runs 30% on the day, but I'm not. But on stuff like this, I know it's going to fail, so it's a case of just being a bit more aggressive, staying in a little bit longer, and then adding a bit more size. Like obviously, if I go down more than 1,000, 1,200, 1,400, you've seen it. Like if I end up down $2,000, I just cut it. I'm like, I'm fucked. It didn't work. Like, and I do. Like, with a strategy, if I take a $2,000 loss, I take a $2,000 loss off. I take a $1,000 loss. If this, like, there's just no way in my mind on this volume that this is gonna rip when it's done that the last time. And every fucking candle up is heavy as hell on the price action. It just looks like someone's trying to squeeze it up a little bit and they're going to dump it. And that's exactly what happened. It got squeezed up and it got dumped. So this was the first 1,000 again. Could it have been like a $2,000 loss where I had to cut it? There's always that chance, but I've seen it a million times, you know what I mean? So, and then with ABML, again, it wasn't my greatest day trading, I'll be honest. I was waiting for this to roll over. All OTCs do roll over, and I was a bit too early on the front side and didn't fully catch the backside. But again, with ABML, it's another like $1,000 win. It's like third size. if it goes any higher, I'm going to have to cut it. Luckily, I do catch the top. And again, like I don't mind. I don't really mind. I mean, I don't love this, but I don't mind it. But this is very early, and this is still pretty front side. This and this, I don't mind it. But the thing with OTCs is they can go higher than you think. So with ABML, like I'm short on this day, and then I think I made about 1,000 on this day, and then I kind of made like 500-600 on the red day, but I really missed this day from the 4th to the 3s. And with ABML, it's like I say, it's the same kind of problem. The ideal situation kind of always is to catch the lower high. Honestly, like let it panic out once, and then catch the lower high. You don't have to be involved in any of this. You catch this, and then in all fairness, you've got a very nice entry. But you've got to swing this because they come down. So you've got a very nice entry from the 460s. You never go red, and it comes down to the 330s. Small bounce, and then you get the final panic. So that was like the 2K day. On the 25th, that got things started, and then on the 26th, like things just kept on rolling. We got another perfect gap and crap, ADSA, $830, and I played this perfectly. Like I'm very good with the gap and craps. We get the pre-market push, short the lower high. That's exactly what I should have done with the ABML. Short the lower high after the move starts to fade. Add to the winner, cover dips, take profit. You know what I mean? But like I was never down in this. I absolutely nailed ADSA, and it's not the hardest trade in the world. It's textbook gap into high volume resistance, gap crap into high volume resistance, ton of bag holders, trading less volume, gapped up, forgot about in the market, played this endlessly, like over and over and over. The only thing is that I don't maybe hold them for day twos, but in this market it's too dangerous. But I mean, look, it's how the fuck do you go wrong with trading something like that? And on the 27th, we, again, like just shit started rolling. Then this Wall Street bet stuff started happening. So with AMC, I mean, it's like $600. I can show you the chart, but it doesn't have the, I think it was actually pre-market where I made this money. I tried to take a couple of like shorts, and I was gutted I missed this rejection. Then I tried to take a couple of longs. Nothing really worked out on it. But AMC is obviously Wall Street bets have gone crazy, pumping heavily shorted stocks to squeeze the hedge funds. And this just got really overextended. It was like from the 4s to the 19s. So with AMC, it was just taking small moves. But like I see the moves happening so many times that it's like it gets kind of easy for me to like read price action. And one thing that I said on Twitter was, it's like it's a herd of people because it's all the Robin Hooders. It's not market makers manipulating stocks. It's like it's just a herd of people getting in and then panicking out when the move's over. So with AMC, it was like just a simple, this is getting really overextended. The trend line's broke, and I'm just taking a short in the 16s. And I got really good with the covers into the 15s. It was just $600 on a trend break on a stock that's overextended when I know the herd will move in and then move out and panic out. It was just a kind of an intuitive kind of feel, if you like. And then on the last one, NAKD, one of the ones I'm probably most proud of, and I didn't hit these enough. This nice longs BT 115, nice long 85. I'll do a video on how my longs are going another time, but with NAKD 1.2k, we've got it here. It was just fucking beautiful. Like Wall Street bets got shut down pre-market, and they got disconnected, and I just smashed it short as soon as I started hearing the rumors. But I was short in the panic. And then I covered all the way down. But when I heard the news, and it's just about being disciplined. But this is 280 to 130. I mean, it's outrageous that short. And then when I thought Wall Street bets were over, I hammered it short. But then I know I'm chasing, right? So if it does try to bounce, I'm getting out. I'm getting out most of my size and getting out quick. I didn't expect it to rip up here. But then after that, I'm playing very, very small size, kind of the same as EDSA, ABML, Archon, all of these stocks. I'm trying to play small size on the way up, catch the tops and hammer them on the way down. And NAKD was particularly dangerous, so it required like particularly small size. So like NAKD on day one, and they've got nice day twos as well, but on day one, like it's 52s, it's got crazy volume, it was 27 million in the opening minutes. Like I know that NAKD can go like billions of percent. I see that there's huge volume. We've got 40 million in the opening 2 minutes, 27 million I remember in the first minute. So, and this is already kind of analyzed, so I know it's going to parabolic at the open. I know it is because there's too much volume behind it, but it's so heavy and it's like it's not moving despite the monumental record most I've ever seen volume. So I'm taking like 100, literally 50 shares, like a $100, $150 position. I think if it goes 50%, I'll lose 75. The only time I got scared is when it made this move up. It was very, very heavy despite a lot of demand. So if there's a ton of demand and it's not ripping up, then surely longs are going to get scared. It's a sign that it's rolling. At some point very shortly, the supply is going to overwhelm the demand. People are like, there's a ton of volume, everyone's buying, but it's not going higher. Why? Well, there's someone above with a lot of size, or there's too much supply, and there's only so many times the Robin Hooders are going to, they've bought it up from fucking 60 cents or whatever it is. So the ones from 60 are going to be selling soon, then the ones from $1 are going to be selling soon, then the ones who just got in at $2 are thinking this isn't going to go up, I'm going to have to sell, and it's just going to roll over, right? So I was shorting from the 295s, caught it roll over. I was in the halt to the downside, and I just covered everything in the 220s. So I got this from like 3 to 220, caught the pre-market crack, caught the second crack, and I regret that I was too stubborn or too careful to short the bounce. They always roll over a second time, and this was a very nice short. But once we start hitting the support levels, hitting the lower days, it's finished. And I know a lad called Jesse, very, very good first red day trader. I'm sure he would have been watching this on the next day. It was just a beautiful fatal day. He plays the first red days on everything, and it looks so easy. So this is a setup I'm kind of nailing with his help in the future. And that is a wrap. This one's an actual alcoholic. So cheers to the 6K a week. And just on drinking it, so it's a great week. And the main lessons are be very small front side because it's the equivalent of dip buy and backside. You do not dip buy backside with good size. And I'll be trading sober all the time because I think I mean it's not a record month, but I think by trading sober, when I say trading sober, like I don't like have a beer or 2 beers or like you'd be hungover from the day before. So I took the whole of January sober. And I think some bigger mistakes would have happened if I'd have been drinking the first 2 weeks, and I think I wouldn't have had the record week drinking I think the 6K week is attributed to being sober, huge productivity, and a very clear head. So I think it's nice to have a beer, but I think I'll probably be knocking it on the head unless it's like weekend special occasions. It's just not for me anymore. Like I enjoy the high of success more than I enjoy the feeling of drinking. So, and just lastly, there's a special announcement. There's a nice prize. I like to reward followers. I like to give prizes so more people will follow. So, there's a nice prize I'm gonna give away. If you just comment, comment Bigfoot, because it'll be funny. Write the word Bigfoot in the comment section. I'm gonna go through, and I'm gonna give someone $1. I'm going to give $1 away because I've had a good month. I've made 10,000, so I'm going to give one of the 10,000 away, $1, and next month we might do 2. So if you comment Bigfoot, I will give you $1. And just to finish up, the main aim for this year is to obviously give back, which I am, but also to beat every month. So like January I made like $5,000, $6,000 last year. So then this year I've made like 10. So like February was like a 2K month. So like again I just want to make 10 or 4 or 6. And we don't know what's gonna happen, but regardless, I'll every month this year we're gonna give a bigger prize. So we're starting at $1. Next month will be $2. God fucking knows what will happen in March. You thought it was over, didn't you? Yeah, it's not time for it to be over. It is over when I fucking say it's over. It's over when I say, I'll see you later.